What do you got planned for today?
I have to go to work. I close tonight, so I work 1 to close.
Do you like working that shift?
It goes by faster actually than the opening shift, which is like 10 to 6:30. I don't know.
10 to 6:30 feels like it's right in the middle of the day though, right?
Well, exactly. Like you don't really have a morning, but you also don't really have an evening.
Yeah.
And so it's just like you're spending your whole day there. Whereas I don't mind closing because I have the whole morning until like I have to leave at 12:15. And even then, like I take the bus down, it drops me off early. I go get a coffee, my book, and I still get to kind of chill before I have to go into work. It's not like I get off the bus and I have to rush right over, and I don't know.
The thing I didn't like about the later shifts was I always felt anxious because I gotta get to work. I gotta,
Yeah.
It's like you're already at work and it's 2 hours before.
Yeah. No, it definitely I definitely still have a bit of that, but I don't know. I think I started to just like allow myself to do things in the morning of these shifts. I mean, this shift used to start at 12, or no, it used to start at 11:30. And so it was 11:30 to 8:15. Talk about your whole day. So I had to leave here at 10:45 to catch my bus so that it would drop me off 11:10, 11:15.
Buses feel safe enough these days?
Yes and no. Like there's postage everywhere that says masks are mandatory, but then it's also like they will let people on without one if they claim to have any sort of like medical condition. All they have to say is I'm exempt, and then the bus driver has to be like, okay. But like it means that a lot of like students come on board and they're like with their friends and they're like, nope, we're all exempt. I'm like, no, you're not. And also like it's just hard because I mean most people respect the distancing on the bus, but when there's like a whole empty bus and you decide to take the one seat that's in front of me or like behind me, like I'm gonna move. Yeah, I don't know, but
do they have like plexiglass or something to protect the drivers?
Yeah, so they have plexiglass, like it's basically like a plexiglass door that they have to open to get out of the driver's seat, and then they have masks with them for the times where they have to like open up the door. And I looked it up because I was like, who is actually exempt from this? I was like, what are the conditions in which public health is like, you shouldn't wear a mask? And really, it boils down to, are you going to be stuck in a situation where you cannot take off your mask without help? And because everyone else, who even if they have trouble breathing, if they're able to take your mask off by yourself, you're not really in like a critical group of people that like, I don't know.
Because if you started not to be able to breathe right, you could take your mask off and you're okay. Yeah.
Exactly. And it also said, like, I posted a bunch of this stuff on Instagram because I was like getting really frustrated with the amount of people who were like, I'm exempt. But like, then also the amount of people who would come in and be like, I have asthma, but I'm totally fine wearing a mask. They're like, I do have my puffer with me. I'll let you know if I'm feeling any sort of like lightheadedness. But they go through an entire massage with their head down in a cradle and a mask on, and they're fine. And the person, like, I don't know. Oh yeah, I looked it up because I was like, okay, what are people supposed to do in a situation where masks are mandatory and you can't wear a mask? So I looked it up and it was like, it basically listed the situations where someone shouldn't wear a mask. And it was like, you're a child under the age of like 2 and you are part of a population that can't like remove it yourself, basically, like you need assistance wearing it. Everyone else basically has to talk with their doctor to come up with some sort of plan or alternative situation. And I'm like, okay, so if it's your responsibility then to talk to your doctor and come up with a plan, really there should be no situation where you get to go in somewhere and cause a fuss because you are exempt from wearing a mask. I don't know. It's just frustrating because I know a lot of people who are exploiting it.
Want to tell you about Alma?
Yeah.
I guess I kind of understand some of these tiny towns that are like, there's no COVID there and they're not experiencing it. And they're like, so why the heck should we have to do this, right?
But don't they have like super high numbers?
They do now.
Yeah, that's the thing is you don't have it now, but if you continue the way you're continuing, That's like when people in Waterloo region are like, our numbers aren't as bad as Toronto's. So we can definitely just like go out and do all this other stuff. And I'm like, how do you think Toronto got those numbers?
Yeah. If you have one active case, you are potentially one step away from Toronto.
And also, you know how many people are coming from Toronto where it's like shut down and they're coming from Toronto to do things in like Kitchener, Waterloo area because they can't in Toronto? Like the first time Toronto got shut down and Waterloo was open, and like when Toronto was still in stage 2 and KW went into stage 3, we had a ton of people try to come from Toronto. And we were like,
Are you blocking them from coming?
yeah. So we're like, the guidelines for your city are that you don't leave. Like you guys are in lockdown. So we're not gonna let you come over here. Because I know that like one of my coworkers also works at and she said that like, yeah, when they went into stage 3, there was a ton of people from Toronto who came in and they were like yelling about how they were from Toronto and like trying to like buy everybody drinks and like get everybody riled up. And she was like, hey, you can't even leave your seat while you're in here. Because like bars are supposed to operate as restaurants only. They're not supposed to operate as like bars.
Yeah. Well, you can see the restaurant I'm in. There's nobody here. I'm all by myself.
Yeah, it's not even a barista.
Nope, nobody.
I don't know.